When you apply for a job and then you get a lot of bosses who say, I'm giving you the opportunity, I don't pay you for this one, okay? Okay, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of people who do that. Like, I mean, also not for like visually impaired, I think also for like young graduates, and then you're like, you need the experience anyway.
For the disabled
It's a lot
community,
worse.
it's a lot worse.
Michael begins the documentary in a small studio space. Today, I had the chance to witness something really eye-opening. Workshops that introduce performing arts to the visually impaired. So the team behind this is still in its early stages, but they've already begun conducting personalized workshops in voice, movement, and creative expression, sometimes even over Zoom. And that is already quite a lot to take in. There's so much that's happened in this room already, but in order to explain about what has happened a little further, I'll have to defer to the brainchilds of the operation, Claire and Kira who are behind me, and they gave us the opportunity to just sit in their sessions and allow me to just participate in their workshops. And they even gave me this access worker training workshop where I learned about how better to interact with visually impaired people. We moved to an open area outside the studio.
Everything you do, right, as long as it's with respecting them in mind, I think it's okay. So many a times, right, you will think you are being very kind by offering a seat to a visually impaired person in the MRT. You say, sit down, sit down, sit down. And then even if that person says no, you will still like, no, you need it more, you sit. That is not respecting. That is making yourself feel good.
Hi, my name is Claire, Claire.
And I'm Kira, Kira.
And we went to school together and took lessons in acting, singing, and dancing. For now, we are just introducing techniques and seeing what each of them are good at, what each of them like or want to explore more. So now it's just a really brief crash course.
Yeah, kind of. In the beginning, we go through our lesson plans.
And then we kind of do our warm-ups, our goofing around a bit just to be high.
So we have to be the ones who are like, yeah! You know?
And then I will be the one doing the Zoom connection.
And right after that, we pick up the participants from the drop-off point.
And let's put your things down. This should be steady. Don't move around like that. Because if you do this, she will shift. Yeah.
Okay.
Go back. And then make sure it's kind of secure.
Okay.
And then you are always one step in front of the person. So you can ask, do you want me to guide you, or would you like to hold on to my elbow? That kind of thing.
The great thing about this is not only we have participants from different walks of life, but the amount of time that they have had this impairment is very different. So I think they will give a lot of perspective to the work. Wai is completely blind, and Fidaus is very similar to me. He has retinitis pigmentosa. He can see a bit. He's partially blind. So I am almost completely blind on my right side. He is almost completely blind on the left. For both Nurul and Cheyenne, actually, they are both blind as well.
Kira speaks to Nurul over Zoom.
So imagine there's a string pulling your elbow.
Everything beyond your elbows.
Imagine there's a string.
So you just loosen up different.
We try to be as non-visual as possible. So a lot of explanation, a lot of attention to detail. So how do we move? How should we feel inside, internally? What's happening with your body?
Everything has to be described really well.
Now you try moving that sun from your forehead to your left cheek.
Usually, if the group was bigger, we would have access workers or creative enablers or to help us during the workshops.
Yeah.
So as assistants, which
You will be doing later.
Kira and Claire guide Michael through various creative exercises in the open area.
Okay, is it comfortable?
Just be more confident.
Just okay.
Michael guides Claire into the corridor leading to the studio.
We use gestures to remember things.
Yeah.
To carry on the flow of thought. So if I don't use the gestures, I'm a bit lost.
If it's not for her, I'm not sure how I would have gone about the Zoom method because I can't do that. I can't even see the screen if the camera is pointing at her or not. There's no methodology to communicating with disabled artists. There's just us trying to make a connection, an authentic connection with individuals. So it's about listening and connecting to people.
Claire leads an exercise.
And then as it passes your body, it begins to mean something to you. When you twist your wrist and get ready to give, something changes within yourself. And you are ready to give again.
It's easy to generalize, but then when you really get to know them better, you see how each of them are different, how they see the world is different, and then because of their upbringing and their background,
Their views are so different, and it's really interesting to hear the different stories that they tell us.
I'm really hoping that one day the distinction between the disabled and the non-disabled will no longer be necessary because access will be an unspoken and essential part of our lives. But this will of course take a lot of time. What we need is, we need to dig a little deeper to really empathize with a person.
To see not with our eyes, but with our entire body and our heart.
I mean, for me, I felt like I really enjoyed the improv exercise I did together with you guys. Like that moment when everything was chaos and being active and like connecting with each other in separate ways but also together at the same time. Like I could forget about everything outside the room and we were all just people just interacting with each other, being friends or just that relationship. At the same time, like the idea of using touch to connect with each other, communicate with each other is something that I haven't paid attention to a lot, but I realize how valuable this sense is. I'm glad to be in the same space as you guys. Like, here. I'm not sure when it will happen again, but I really had a good time today.
Thank you. Pat on the back.